Hey folks, Bob here. Bob's Classic Cars and Parts. All right, let me show you what we got here. I purchased these two engines. They're short blocks. This first one here is a 440 Mopar, big block Mopar. 440, believe it to be from a motorhome, cast crank. We think it's a 77, something like that. Low performance, what, 200 horsepower, maybe 220, something like that. I don't, probably 220 or maybe 180 coming from a motorhome. But I built one of these motors 4 or 5 years ago using Speedmaster heads and Speed Pro 10.5 to 1 forged pistons and a purple shaft 509 cam, and that damn thing put out over 500 horsepower. Pretty budget build. It was under $5 grand. That's what I'll probably do with this one. It is available for sale, but nobody wants to buy it. That's what I'll probably do with it. That's just a low, just buy common stuff like that. Speedmaster heads, everybody poo-poo, but you know, for an application like that, I think it's fine. This second engine it does turn over. It's a 61 or 62 361 big block Mopar out of a Chrysler New Yorker 300, somewhere along in there. Probably New Yorker. I actually think it was a Newport. I'm sorry, it might have been a Newport. It's got the one floating power mount on it, and I will sell that. And I think that oil pan is specific to that chassis, early 60s C body, I believe. I've got two of these now, I think, maybe three. Here's the thing about this engine. It is a steel crank, but let me walk over here to it. It's the kind that's got the, well, you can't tell. The bolts, the torque converter doesn't spline on, it bolts in from the back. Bolts directly to the crankshaft. Let me get these straps off and I'll show you, but this motor does turn over. What would this motor be good for? Somebody want to do an old Chrysler. There's people out there fixing these things up. If you want it to be as close to original as possible. There's a number of things. You can put a stroker crank in it, but you have to probably custom make the pistons, which will run you $1,200 probably. But I think a stroker crank puts you somewhere around 410, 420, depending on what you got to bore it to. But since it turns over, you may not have to bore it, and this will be a higher compression than this one too, so might just make a good little street motor. Just leave it stock stroke. But I think they make an adapter where you can put a regular converter on it. I think that adapter is like 120 bucks. It's supposed to be good quality. But so many companies went out of business during COVID. I don't know if that company's still around or not, but anyhow, let me get these things unloaded. I'll get you set up on the tripod. We'll get them unloaded. As usual, when you buy these old junkyard motors, you got to clean threads out. So in order to mount this head, I've got all my bolts laid out that I need. The threads were full of crud, so I don't want to strip anything. So let me I cleaned them out, just sprayed it with WD-40 and picked out much of the crud as I could with the skinny little screwdriver. Now we're going to run a tap through it. All right, guys, so I got the head to the engine stand mounted. You want to mount these things where they're kind of centered. You don't have to get out your calculus and your engineering degree, but looks like that might be off just a tad, but it ain't that big a deal. And you want it slightly, in this case on a big block Mopar, slightly above the crankshaft. I think we are over this way about 1/4 inch, but that's close enough. The reason you want it centered, or nearly centered, it just makes it so much easier when you're rotating the motor on the engine stand. I know it's a little hard to tell because it's kind of leaning to the side. But just get it as close as you can, get it centered as close as you can, spend a few minutes, and when you're snugging all these bolts down, you don't need to get Hercules, just tighten them. All right, let me get this thing up off the bed of the truck, and we'll pull the truck out from under it, and we'll just slide the engine stand right up to it. Another thing I do is I keep a Ziploc bag. I've got labeled engine bolts, and that's for mounting the engines on these stands. That's what that's for. And I keep it in my engine toolbox. Pretty much this whole toolbox is working on engines and stuff. So I know where it's always at. All right, I got it mounted on the stand, and need to lower it down. These A-frame jacks. These A-frame hoists are where it's at, guys. I picked this one up for $50 from a retired guy. I see them on Marketplace fairly regularly, 150 bucks. And this one here needs some repair. The wheels were messed up on it. I bought the casters, just hadn't had a chance to put them on. But man, this is where it's at. So paid 50 for this, and I paid 100 for both. I got the chain hoist, and it was real rusty. Been sitting outside, and I soaked it in oh me, what did I soak it in? Evaporust, I think, for about a month. And it works perfect. All right, let me get it back all on the floor and in the shop. Okay, so it's mounted. It's in the shop, and we'll get the other engine off next. I've got an engine stand for it, but because the torque converter is bolted to the back, I can't get it mounted just yet, so I'll just set it directly to the floor. So this is going to end this video. I'll see if I can't pop these lifters out. We'll do another video when we start taking this thing apart. It may be a little while, but I just wanted to share with you what we have here, guys. This engine will be for sale. It's a 440. If you're really interested, I can scrub on the side of it and get some numbers for you, but I'm sure it's going to need to be bored. And it looks like the lifters are in there enough where they shouldn't need to be bronze bushed. I think we're okay on the lifters. Just carefully work them out with some Kroll oil or something, some heat. They should come out. We should be okay there. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Hit that like button. Look at some of the other videos we've got. We've got quite a few videos on the channel. And let us know what you think of that stuff. Share it with your friends. And if you're in the general Raleigh, NC area and you want a 440 block, call me. Let's talk before I start spending a lot of money and time on this thing. All right, guys, Bob out.